Sarah and Vinnie on Alice at 97.3.
Here is your review of The Wedding Ringer.
Here we go.
Kevin Hart, Kaylee Cuoco, Whitney Cummings, Jeff Ross, Mimi Rogers, Joe Namath, and Josh Gad. Now, Josh is
Hold on, before you start. This is an email from Peter and Karen Baines from Union City. They went to the sneak preview last night of this movie, and were seated next to Hooman. And what a glowing review they've given. What a kind person. What a death grip hold he had on them in the photo they took together at the end.
He's always nice.
Thank you.
To people in
Said
public.
we liked the movie, but the icing on the cake was seeing a local celebrity and getting to talk to him.
Thank you. It was great meeting them as well. First words out of his mouth is, I follow you on Instagram. I was like, oh, thanks.
That's sweet.
So Josh Gad is the co-star along with Kevin Hart. He's the voice of Olaf in the Frozen.
Oh, God. Olaf is the best thing about Frozen.
Yeah.
And he also played...
I would argue the only good thing about Frozen.
Oh, come on.
You didn't like Frozen?
That's all right.
John Lasseter did a great job, buddy. He also played Steve Wozniak in Ashton Kutcher's movie about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
So in this film, Josh Gad is about to marry Kaylee Cuoco. The only problem is he has no friends, no best man, no groomsmen, nothing. He has no one. He's like the perfect, ideal person for some chick to marry. Won't have to get rid of his friends. Anyway, enter Kevin Hart, whose profession is to act as the best man for a person on their wedding. Like, that's what he's hired to do.
That's his job.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Kevin, will Kevin be able to pull off this farce? Marcus, how pleasantly surprised were you by this film?
The only person who's pleasantly surprised was you, because you're finally like...
so good.
Hooman is finally
So
discovering that Kevin Hart is actually a movie star. Like, he just discovered this.
It's so unpredictable.
And it's like pulling teeth to get him to go see a movie with a predominantly black cast. It's just so hard to get him there.
Would you agree that at times The Wedding Ringer was as good as The Hangover?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe
it's that good, everybody.
Kevin Hart is so on fire right now. I mean, I just looked at his list of films. He's got 4 or 5 more movies coming out in the next year and a half. It's crazy how much he's killing it. And everything he does turns to gold. It's awesome. I love it.
I love this plot. I love the guy who has no friends and is kind of,
Remind you of yourself.
How does he get Kaylee Cuoco?
Well, that's a big plot point.
Oh, all
how
right.
he ends up getting her, and more like why she ended up choosing him. And part of it is because he's such a loser.
It kind of reminds me of like Hitch with Will Smith, or the movie with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Which was fun. Both those movies are funny, but this is kind of a combination of both those. Much funnier.
So I know out in the world there have been certain parents that have taken their kids to see a movie like Ted. Kind of bad parenting to see.
Yeah, terrible parents.
But should
you're talking about me.
should parents take their kids to see The Wedding Ringer?
And look, if you take them to see Ted, you might as well take them to see The Wedding.
This is way worse than Ted. So parents, just be warned.
Is that hooker poop right there?
Oh, Sarah. Sum it all up. Let me just say this. I love this film from the beginning to the end. You will laugh so hard. If you want to laugh.
I love laughing.
These are two
awesome.
total polar opposite films.
Yeah.
So my final question is, who's going to win the box office?
Ooh.
I'm going to say Wedding Ringer. With that, I'm going to give it 4 1/4 Persians.
Ooh, good question. I would say...
People want to laugh, Mark.
Yeah, people want to laugh, but it's a Clint Eastwood movie, Bradley Cooper. It's going to be very close. I'm going to say American Sniper wins the weekend.
All right.
By a little bit.
Somebody note that so that when we do the box office,
I usually get this right, by the way. I'm usually pretty good at this.
You're amazing.
I'm going to give it 4 Aussies. Very funny.
Right.